Hey bruh, today we're going over an anime where the main character has to save humanity from getting murked by AI. And the anime starts out pretty dark, right? We see someone say, I'm gonna make everyone happy with my singing. And you're like, okay, this might be lit, right? We see her go out, welcome to the theme park, right? She starts jumping and singing. I'm like, hold on, this bit kind of banging a little bit. But then that's when you see a whole bunch of dead people. You see someone running for their life. You see a lady getting her face squished while the AI is goddamn smiling. And in the midst of all of it, we go back to the performance. She's still jumping up and down hype, right? And I'm like, hey, this supposed to be scary, but that song hitting a little too hard, gang. Anyway, we then see an injured person enter what looks like a laboratory, right? And the AI tries to help him. He pushes the AI out the way. He goes in the room and locks it. And then we see people trying to get in the room to murk that nigga, right? But then right before, we see him send some type of message, something to someone, right? And he's like, this is the only way that we get to save humanity or whatever. And then sends it and gets absolutely Swiss cheese. We then go and learn about the AI of this world, right? And how they were made. They were made for their roles in society. How at first they failed, but then they got better with time. And that now they live amongst humans. And since they're given certain functions, the one that we're following was made to make people happy by singing. And after she gets done, right, she hits a little pose, but she gets absolute crickets. And after she's done performing, she asks the little girl, how did she think she did? And she was like, oh, it was cool. You did good singing. Just don't hit the pose at the end no more. She then tells the little girl that she should leave now as the park is getting closed soon, right? And then she's like, oh, before I leave, I have a gift for you, and it's a bear of some sorts, right? And then she's like, okay, promise me you'll perform on the main stage one day and I'll be there to see it. And then the little girl leaves, right? And then there's something talking through some device. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what's going on. But then they're talking, right? And she's like, you really think you're gonna become a performer? And then she got down for like 5 minutes straight, hates the goofy out of her dream. She was like, you think you're special? You really not that good. You were programmed to do what you're doing. You're nothing special. All type of hate and shit. I'm like, god damn, I aspire to be this level of hater for things I don't like. And after crushing her dream, she then walks out, right? And then while she's walking, she then all of a sudden malfunctions and starts seeing things, right? Like with the massacre that was occurring, right? And then she just freaking flops on the ground. We then learn that she's in an archive and she doesn't understand what's going on. She's asking questions to something, I don't know what it is. And then we see this cube with an eye break in and then tells her that he comes from the future and that he needs her help to destroy all of AI. After he states that, she's then awoken by maintenance, right? And then she's like, oh, what happened? Was it a malfunction? Is there something going on? But when the doctor checks her brain and her body, there's nothing wrong. And while that's going on, we then hear the voice from the cube talking about how perfect he is, how he's a super AI from the future, and how he's here to help. We then see her asking him over and over to leave, but he keeps refusing up until the point where they're in her room, I assume, and he transfers into the bear that was given to her earlier by the little girl. We then see the first scene that occurred in this anime episode where there were humans getting massacred, and he says that happens 100 years later and I need your help to stop that from happening. But she calls cap on it and says that could be fabricated, nigga, I don't believe you. And then tells him to leave again, but he still doesn't. So then we go to the next morning, right, and she's performing to absolutely nobody again. And then she goes backstage and he's still there, right? So he's like, why don't you just help me save the world? She says, I don't believe nothing that you're saying. And then he's like, well, you're just a humanoid, soulless robot. Basically roast the goofy out of her. And then she's like, oh, so what? I'm cool with this life. I just want to sing and make people happy. And she tells him to leave again. Now he defies it this time. He's like, look, I'll even prove I'm not capping to you. On my mama, I'm not lying. Look what I can do. I'm going to tell you this nigga at approximately this location at approximately this time is about to get goddamn cooked by a bomb. And if his prediction is correct, that she has to team up with him. And apparently she didn't think he was capping this time, because once he started the countdown, she got there and took off. And when she finally made it to the person he said was gonna get cooked, his security tried to stop her, but she easily overpowered them and got them out of the way, and then we saw it explode, and luckily he saved them. We then hear an emergency alarm, and that the park is basically getting cooked right now by a fire. Everybody should leave. So then she checks up on him, is he okay? And then he asks on her, right? And then after that, he has to leave immediately, but he's like, hey, I like to hear you sing since you're a performance robot, right? And then she's like, oh, that's so inspiring. And after that, he leaves, right? And then she gets a message from another AI that they should check the rest of the park for suspicious objects. Later on, we then see the bear come back and say, look, let's save this future. Even though the people that you're with right now are still alive, won't be affected, their descendants will be. And you can tell that she don't think he capping no more. So then he asks what she really wants in the future. And then it advises her on future laws that occur, right, that make things get closer to the point where AI and human become equal. He also mentions that the person that she saved earlier is gonna die, and then she's like, why was I chosen to save the world? She's a little groggy. And then she's like, okay, when is that guy that wants to see me sing gonna die? And he's like, oh, approximately tonight. So then we cut to the guy talking to someone, right? He's like, I can't let them know I'm scared. I ain't scared of nobody, little nigga. Fuck you talking about, boy, drop big monkey nuts, right? And then don't let nobody chase the call. Soon as that happens, the whole goddamn lights turn off, and we see niggas come through with semis, and they ready to murk this nigga. And then that's where it cuts off. Now look, bro, I ain't gonna lie, this bit kind of active. I don't know how I never heard of this, because this is fire from what I've seen. Like, maybe it gets worse over time or something, because, bro, this is better than some of the more popular animes, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.